Welcome to Antenna by Panda. Today I will be testing the 3 elements VHF Yagi monoband for amateur frequency 145 to 150 is the bandwidth. So I will be testing the frequency response of this antenna against my 2-vector impedance analyzer. First is the N1201SA and my recently acquired NanoVNA. So let's check the frequency response first from the N1201SA. So this is now connected to the N1201SA going to the antenna. So let's turn on the device and let's proceed with the testing. What we will be doing is to check the frequency of this antenna from 140 to 150 megahertz and see the BSWR curve and S11 curve, taking note of the center frequency SWR reading and impedance and the S11 or antenna reflection coefficient. So first we're going to check the 145 megahertz, the center frequency. I tuned the antenna to operate on 145 center. So this is the readout at 145 megahertz. So it's giving us SWR of 1.034. We have a 3-digit resolution on this. So taking note of the impedance at 49.61 ohms. And the S11 minus 35.16 minus 35.16 dB. So let's go down. 144 is 1.151. 143 is 1.341. 142 is 1.536. 141 is 1.692. And 140 is 1.786. So let's go to 146. 146 is 1.060. 147 is 1.263. 148 is 1.666. 149 is 2.206. And 150 is 2.652. So I'm listing the frequency response of N121SA from 140 megahertz to 150 megahertz, taking note of SWR readout and impedance on the center frequency 145 and the S11. So let's check the frequency curve of this antenna from N121SA. So as we can see, as we can see here, we have the center frequency bottom of the carb is exact center is 145.3 at 1.022. So let's take note of that. 145.3 exact dip of the carb at 1.023. So let's check the S11 on the frequency. So that's the S11 at 36.66 dB. Let's check the impedance. Impedance is 49.64. So let's check the response of this antenna using the N1201SA. I have now connected the antenna on the N1201SA. So we have to configure it to read the intended frequency. So let's configure the N1201SA to from 140 to 150 megahertz and check the readout. So this is my N1201SA. The current setup is from 50 kilohertz to 900 megahertz. So I reflash this NanoVNA to have a bigger font on the display. So this is not the default program that is into it, so we need to configure the start and stop frequency on the frequency sweep. So we have to check the stimulus and start frequency. So let's set it to 140 megahertz and set the stop frequency at 150 megahertz. So as we can see, we have 140 and 150 megahertz. So this is the S11 carb. So we need to check the SWR carb from 140 to 150 and check out the SWR readout. So let's go back and select display. Then we have the format and select SWR on the menu. So as we can see, this is the SWR carbs, very similar to the carb on the N1201SA. The only difference is this NanoVNA, although it is very small, the screen is much bigger compared to N1201SA, so the resolution is more accurate. So let's check the readout from 140 megahertz, as we can see on the display on top. It's 140 megahertz. This is the SWR readout, the one on the yellow, and the Smith chart is giving us the impedance. So let's check the SWR readout. So at 140 we have 1.73 So let's go to 141. So that's 141. We have 1.64. Let's go to 142. I'm using the switch on top of the NanoVNA to move the cursor. So it's 142. And we have the SWR readout of 1.49. Let's go to 143. As you can see, the cursor at the bottom is moving. So let's take note of that. So we're going to 143. Oops, let's go back. I just clicked the switch. So 143 is giving us 1.31. $144 now. 144 is giving us 1.15. So let's go to 145, taking note of the impedance, SWR, and the reflection coefficient. So it's 145. The SWR is 1.04. So let's check the S11. Impedance is 50.7 ohms. Let's check the S11 or the logarithmic magnitude readout from the NanoVNA. So let's select display, format, and log mag on top to see the readout. So as we can see, we have 34.24 dB. Negative. That's the S11 readout or antenna reflection coefficient of this antenna at 145 megahertz. But the exact center frequency, as we can see on the N1201SA a while ago, is 145.3, and we can see that on the S11 curve. So let's go to 146. So let's reselect SWR. Go to 146. 146 megahertz is giving us 1.07. So let's go to 147. 147 is giving us 1.29. So let's go to 148. So let's just go back, select SWR, and close this. So we are on 147.4 now, so we go to 148. So 148 is giving us 1.69 SWR. Let's go to 149. 149 is giving us 2.19, and the last frequency is 150. It's giving us 2.56. So let's go back to the center frequency, the exact center frequency at 145.3, and let's move the cursor to 145.3. So that's 147, 146, 145. That's 145.3, as we can see on the white frequency readout at the top of the screen, this one. So it's giving us 1.03 SWR. SWR, and let's check the impedance is about 50 exactly 50 ohms, as we can see here on the display. It's exactly 50 ohms. So let's move the display to logarithmic magnitude on the NanoVNA. So let's reselect display and format and logarithmic magnitude to see the S11 curve. As we can see here, we have 145.3 at 35.2 or 35.37. S11 and impedance of 49.9 or 50 ohms. So as we can see, we have the NanoVNA readout of 140 is 1.73, 140 on N1201SA is 1.78. Very little discrepancy if we are going to use the single digit resolution on the decimal point. So 141 is 1.64, it's 1.69 on N1201SA. 142 is 149, and it's 1.536 on N1201SA. 143 is 1.31, and it's 1.34 on N1201SA. 144 is 1.15, and it's also 1.15. The only difference is actually the resolution. We have 3 digits resolution on the decimal point from N1201SA, and we have 2-digit resolution on NanoVNA. So on 145 it's 1.04 at impedance of 50.7 ohms. On the N1201SA it's 1.034 at 49.61 ohms. So 146 is 1.07. By the way, the 145 frequency on the NanoVNA is giving us 50.7 and minus 34.34 dB negative on the S11, and the N1201SA is giving us 49.61 ohms at NS11 of minus 35.16 dB. 146 is 1.07, 146 is 1.06 on N1201SA. So NanoVNA 148 is 1.69, 148 is 1.66 on N121SA, 149 is 2.19 on the NanoVNA, 149 is 2.2 on N121SA, and 150 is 2.56 at 150 megahertz on NanoVNA, and it's 2.65 on N121SA. The exact center frequency on the NanoVNA, it's 145.3. It's giving us 1.03 SWR at exactly 50 ohms, and the antenna reflection coefficient of for S11 at 35.37 dB, with the impedance 50 ohms is actually playing from 49.9 to 50 ohms on the NanoVNA. So let's check the N121SA at the exact center frequency on the dip of the curve, on the S11 curve, the SWR is giving us 1.023. So as we compare it, 145.3 on the NanoVNA, 1.023 on N121SA, the S11 is giving us 36.66 dB against 35.37 dB on the NanoVNA, and the impedance is 49.64, again 49.9 on the NanoVNA. So the only difference is the resolution of on the decimal point. The NanoVNA is giving us 2-digit resolution, and the N121SA is giving us 3-digit resolution, but the readout is very similar from NanoVNA to the N121SA vector impedance analyzer. So that's it. Thank you for watching.